Hi, folks. I'm gonna cut this music off. How y'all doing tonight? I hope my volume sounds better this time around. If somebody could give me a little bit of a hint as to whether it is doing better. Hi, KS Klima. Hi, Sandy. How you doing? I hope this sounds good. I'm not real close to the mic. I've got a new microphone that I'm hoping will keep things from being blurry. Hi, Nikki B. How you doing, honey? And Bubba, how you doing? So let me know. Is it blasting me out, or does it sound pretty good? I hope. Anyway, I got a couple of notes and things I want to go over, and everybody seems to be ready for something. K&S says lots of stuff coming out. Time to sink their battleships. So we'll see how close we are to doing that. Somebody's going to be saying, hey, you sunk my battleship. It ain't going to be us either. Hi, Lone Wolf. Hi, Wanda. Donna. How are you, Donna? Finding Dory. And I said, hi to Sandy and B-Dog. Hi, Lucy. How you doing? Thank you for putting a comment on my last video. Hi, Doc. So everybody's getting in. And I hope it's not where the sound was difficult like the last time I used this stream. Sounds good, Lucy Walk says good. Kind of muffled, Larry says. Well, I hope it's at least audible to you. I've got a set of headphones on with a microphone. Let me see if I turn, it said if I turn the volume up too high, it causes problems. So let me see. All right, how about now? How about now? Is it a little, whoop, how about, ha ha, I'm trying to get this volume right. All right, how's it sound now? I got the volume set at a certain way. Tennessee, how you doing? Sharon, how are you? Oh, sounded better before? Okay. Oh, don't want to put it up too loud. Let me see. This is kind of touchy, but I'm going to use this control here on my, oh, okay, this might be the problem here. How about now? Let me see. Problem. All right, how about that? That sounds better, I believe. I will see what everybody says. Kind of muffled, but good. Nope. Sounds better. We can hear you 5 by 5. Okay. Well, whatever it is what it is. I hope it's better than the last broadcast. But anyway, I spent 3 minutes and 20 seconds full with my volume. But anyway, I got in my thumbnail, I got pentabots. What do you mean pentabots, Mountain Man? I'll tell you what I mean, but not right now. AZ, as I said weeks before, I don't know what to say, 3 weeks ago, it was going to be ground zero. Now I'm seeing that on other people's sites. They're calling it ground zero. I said, wait a minute, y'all stealing my stuff. Government money to Twitter in the millions. Swanee. So let's see, Omnibus. We got thrown under the Omnibus. And that's $1.7 trillion, folks. And also I saw where Red posted that Phil Godlewski can run around tricking people like Nino into thinking he's a new anon, I guess, you know, SG anon, and he got busted because he started broadcasting on his secret site where he's supposed to be anonymous, and he said he wasn't Phil Godlewski. Turns out he really is. So maybe somebody will wake up to that. Hi, Melinda. How you doing? So anyway, did you all get a chance to watch the Twitter files? And I was watching one conversation that was hosted by Kim.com. I'm sure you all have heard him. And then the usual bunch that puts out information on the Twitter. And don't you know, they spent 2 hours being dieseled, what they call dieseled. And a lot of us have called it in the past buffering. But it's where somebody, somewhere, is hitting a mute button every time they talk about something that they don't want on the table. Now, everybody's been waiting for these Fauci drops, or ouchie. I meant to say ouchie. I'm sorry. Oh, didn't mean to say that word. Huh. Oh, Wanda, I cuss sometimes, but I don't cuss that much. I cuss when there really needs to be some cussing going on. But anyway, but in summary, I already summarized a bunch of stuff about Fauci, where he said he wasn't involved in any censorship or forming a message. And then we found out his daughter worked for Twitter. Then we found out he had emails between Twitter executives and himself. And then we found out that gain of function, that they were funding that. We found out that Rand Paul said he was responsible, complicit in the expiration date, I'll say, coming in on 7 million people. So, and that he can't recall things. So that's kind of Fauci in a nutshell right now. And how you doing, Mr. Kibler? How are you? So, yeah, Nino, he's a bird. Hi, John. How are you? So he thought he really had a secret anon he was interviewing, and he said, "Oh, you're not that what's his name, Godlewski guy, are you?" And the secret anon said, "No, I'm not. That's someone else." And then Godlewski did the broadcast. He didn't realize he was on his secret channel. He thought he was on his other channel, and there he was, bigger than life, on the secret Anon channel. So, hopefully people will see that this is just a bunch of garbage. I don't think Nino knew who he was. I really don't. He's not the brightest candle in the store. But anyway, but they were throttling the discussion on Twitter that people were trying to get to, which was more information about the ouchie drops and also about what was going on at Twitter. So everybody's pretty much come to the conclusion that this vote thing, with whether or not Elon should stay, was infested with bots. Okay? And Kim.com was telling a bunch of interesting ways that they pull these stunts off. That they have got now this is government services, offices, 3-letter agencies, something in the Utah cloud. All right, this is supposedly a database, one of several databases. One in Utah, they say they can store 50 years of all human communications that'll ever be made in the 50 years. They can store it. And that includes emails, text messages, videos, you name it. SMS, text, all that stuff. And everybody has their own little code. I guess you'd call it a electronic DNA. I don't know. And they can just research it and go back for the last 10 years. They can pull up whatever you were doing at that time. So, hey, that's scary, right? But it's really scary if you've been a crook. So I just want to throw that in there. Just like I said about FISA warrants. FISA works both ways. So anyway, they were trying to get through this dieseling thing. And it made me think of back when I used to listen to Kirsten W. She'd come on in the mornings. Some of the stuff she said was, I wasn't down with. But she was interesting, and it was, a half hour or so, certain mornings, you would listen to these updates and stuff. sometimes 45 minutes. And she lived right next to Jaco. But she would be doing broadcasts. If I ever run across one, I'm going to get a screenshot of it. But she would be talking, and you could hear somebody chewing what sounds like a bag of rocks or pistachio shells while she's talking. And she would make a face like, what is that? And then she'd talk a little bit, and then a few minutes would go by, and they start doing it again. So they can override your feed. They can mute you. They can follow you, what you're doing, listen to everything you say. And that was a couple of years ago, before Kirsten died. And I've discussed that in past broadcasts. But anyway, we got what I refer to as a confluence of events. And confluence is like, three rivers, the point where they join into one river. That area where all three rivers come together is called a confluence. It stirs, it boils, it bubbles, and it changes the current. So, hi, Michelle, how are you? So, anyway, we've got a confluence of events going on with these Twitter drops and with the situation in Arizona. And we've got a lot of bold communications coming out, and they're even getting into Truth Social. I want to see if anybody in the chats is aware of the posting that Donald Trump put up. Hi, Freedom, hello. Hi, Steve. Hi, Wake and Trillium. Donald Trump put up a video clip of a movie that starred Alec Baldwin. Hi, Pappy Two Bears. And as I understand, that video clip has been taken down and put back up. And I went to look for it again, and it looked like it'd been taken down again. Did you all hear about that? Just a thumbs up or a yes if you did hear about it. There's Debbie heard about it. Did anybody get to see that clip? And I can't find. I was going to get a screenshot of that and use it on maybe tomorrow or the next day's broadcast, because that plays. Donald Trump put this up, and it's very serious, and somebody's taking it down. Okay, on Truth Social. What does that tell you? Either they're remotely able to pierce the security of these sites, or they've got a plant. And with Elon Musk, chances are he's got both. He's got people planted in the organization. Jim Baker is not the first one, but he also is vulnerable to outside attacks. But Truth Social, every time you go on there, they say, do you want to do an update? And I mean, it's like the last 5 times I've been on, I click yes, and I do the update. That tells me right there, there's a battle going on. There's a battle going on. And they're trying to fine-tune that site. But they're still getting through. Let me tell you what this clip was about. I did a video some 6 months ago. And it's got, you can find it on the alternative video site, RUM, and then the rest is BLE. It has on the thumbnail a picture of somebody named Julius Streicher. And I believe on the same thumbnail has a picture of Chuck Grassley. And the video I discuss, Julius Streicher was one of the top men in the Third Reich. I won't use the Nazis term, the Third Reich, because a lot of people have noticed Nancy Pelosi was wearing pins that denoted Roman Empire decorations, let's say, that suggested a Fourth Reich. But anyway, in the Third Reich, Julius Streicher was one of the top propagandists for the government. And he wrote a book called The Mongrel, about mixed breed dogs, and conflated that to human beings. I've been over that, but for my new viewers, I'm getting you up to speed with what I'm talking about. He was also in charge of newspapers, of censoring radios, confiscating radios, issuing radios that would only get government-approved stations. And they would go around with a equivalent of a satellite dish. It looked like a satellite dish, a radio dish on top of a van, and they could zero in on people who were transmitting or receiving unauthorized signals. And they would kick their door in, okay? And you knew what happened from there. But anyway, Julius Streicher never fired a shot, never executed anybody, never held trial, never, all he did was run his mouth. And he was one of the top defendants in Nuremberg. And the clip that Trump put up was a movie with Alec Baldwin about Nuremberg. And the clip that he was showing was where the Supreme Court Justice, I think his name was Robert, his last name was Jackson, was reading the sentences to Keitel, that's K-I-E-T-L-E, Yodel, Y-O-D-L-E, he was a general, Hermann Goering, and also in that group was Julius Streicher. And he was sentenced to the ultimate punishment. And Donald Trump put that clip up yesterday. Very powerful. So hopefully it'll come back up. But if I can find it, I will take a screen grab of that and play it on one of my shows. And also put a copy of the thumbnail up of the one I'm discussing that I did 6 months ago. Your Dutch uncle never told you. Okay. Let's see. So anyway, I thought that was very telling, and that is making people sweat bullets, especially people like Adam Schiff. Hi, Jan. How you doing? I'm going through the chats, folks. So anyway, yes, the pentagram or whatever was involved, funneling money to Twitter, and Elon Musk is talking about having money problems, and that the place is on the fast track to bankruptcy. I discussed that last night. Well, it's no wonder when all the government troublemakers get to running and they quit giving checks to Twitter like they used to. They said one time they were talking back and forth about receiving $3 million, and I believe that was just from the FBI. But the Pentagon had a one-way portal, what they call a one-way portal into Twitter, where they could say, hey, take so-and-so's account down. Hey, this is a story you don't want to let people talk about. And when I was listening to this Twitter situation with Kim.com and the bunch, somebody brought up the name Henry Cavill, C-A-V-I-L-L-E, Henry Cavill. Now, as a lot of you may know, and for those who may not know, he's a very famous person from Britain who traveled in wealthy circles, and a very creepy looking man who was involved in P3DO. So that is when the panel went blank. You couldn't hear nothing. And anytime they brought up stuff like this, they started dieseling the broadcast. So somebody's got administration. The abbreviation for that is admin access, whether remote or in the actual company itself. So, I don't know how long it's going to take till we hear something about Fauci. I meant ouchie. So anyway, that brings me back to mention again, and I hope you all get interested enough to look it up and really cogitate on it, but not in such a way to where you're looking for anything mystical or anything that you can't figure out just by thinking about what's being said, and that is drop number 11. That's the first drop Donald Trump ever put up about Q. Ooh, I meant the 17th letter. And I had discussed it on the video about a week before he did that. But anyway, what it basically says is what needs to be shown. What needs to be shown, what kind of situation must exist for MI, which is military intelligence, to take over the civilian three-letter agencies. What conditions must exist? And this is showing us that these conditions exist. Once that's proven, they can be taken over by military intelligence. So you might want to check that out for yourself. Drop number 11. Who's trolling? Let me see. I'll check it out. See what's going on. I don't see anybody. Steve Favreau says, do you think it's going down? Whoops. Anxiety patches. Let's see. Just going through the chat, folks. But anyway, I discussed the possibility, or what I thought would not be a surprise to me at all, would be Jack Dorsey returning to Twitter. And my thoughts about that might have been blocked out a little bit because of the audio, but my thoughts were that they have trashed Elon Musk so much, and they're trying to make him the new Donald Trump, the new whipping boy. And it's funny that you have a poll, should we bring back Donald Trump? Trump gets in easy, 60-some% of whatever it was. Then there was another poll. I think McCarthy put it out about the Omnibus bill or something like that. 75% was going the way McCarthy wanted it to go. So you see this heavy conservative influence in these other polls. But then when Elon Musk says, hey, you guys want me to stay? He loses 60-40. You know, that is a complete reversal. So you can see that there's something going on there by manipulating the public consciousness, number one, but also the electronic manipulation with these bots and fake accounts. So Elon Musk has said that he's in danger. He says his family's in danger. He met with Jared Kushner and the Saudis during the World Cup, and he comes up with this poll. And I think it predictably went against him because I'm sure he's aware that he didn't get all the bots. And you also have these hangers on and these screaming memes that will never accept him, just like there are certain people that will never accept Trump, even if he was holding hands with Jesus Christ himself and walking on water. They still say, it looks like his shoe's untied. You know, they come up with something. So bringing back Dorsey may be a situation. If Dorsey, because I read those, it was blurry, it was fuzzier, my voice, but I read those information posts off that 17 thing, and it was messages directly to Jack, and also one of them had Elon Musk's name in there, his initials, EM. And I said that the money was put forward by the DOD, the White Hats, for Elon Musk to buy Twitter. Now, he gets Jack Dorsey back from a public relations standpoint, not just people like us that we know what's going on, but the people that don't know what's going on. They'll see somebody who left Twitter voluntarily. Jack Dorsey's been out of Twitter. The liberals like him. They think he's fine. We know he's not. We know he's dirty. We know, as was said in one of the information posts, he's been a bad boy. But it may be that he gets whipped in line. He comes back. He keeps the platform strong by keeping conservatives back allowed to be back on there. The liberals and the Fruit Loops had run of the show when he used to be CEO, so they can't complain about him on the liberal side. Nobody on the conservative side is going to leave because they're allowed on there and they can watch what's going on. It's going to increase the traffic on Twitter if Elon Musk is basically going to be walking the chalk under Elon Musk's supervision. And if you also remember, Donald Trump said that Elon Musk would have got down and kissed his shoes for the money. Now, why would Elon Musk have got down and kissed his shoes for the money? Because he might have done a little something. And he was told, here's what you're going to do. You're going to buy Twitter and straighten this mess out. And you and this Dorsey character, okay? Or else. You're not going to show us you're trying to do what's best for the country. We think then that you're trying to hurt the country, okay? Well, how am I going to get the money for it? You better go ask the big man, Donald Trump. So in other words, if this plays out, and excuse me, anyone who's sensitive to language, but Jack Dorsey is going to be put back in to basically be Elon Musk's little biatch, okay? To do what Elon Musk says. And Elon Musk is going to be Donald Trump's little helper. You know, like Santa's helper. Ha, ha, ha. You guys thought I was going to say the other word, didn't you? But I believe that's the way this thing is going to go down. And if it's not Jack Dorsey, you know, he appears to me to be in a who knows where location, because he might be in danger too. White lightning. All right, were you on the NPC show? Because what you're saying in capital letters, first of all, I'm gonna give you a chance to go Google what you just said, white lightning, and nothing will come up. Okay? I don't want to do like the NPC show did today. Somebody came in his chats with that, and they got the wheel spin, and they got blocked for life. I don't want to do that. Okay. So why don't you Google what you're saying? You'll find out that that's internet chit chat. That's nothing to it whatsoever. Donald Trump Jr. is not going to join Twitter when his father is directly in competition with Truth Social. Okay? Ain't going to happen. So I don't want this to get a situation like we got people, Simon Parks. Simon Parks is not a businessman. He's an academic. Who's the person that ran a place for years from its beginning, claims that he's halfway innocent because the government muscled him out? Who's the one that was making money with the business and knows how it operates? Jack Dorsey. And who owes his country a favor or else? Jack Dorsey. Now, he may not be given that opportunity, but I think he is. Otherwise, there would have been direct communications with him by the 17th letter back in 2018, 4 years ago. White lining, stop. Please do me a favor and stop using capitals. Okay, it's like shouting. I can read. Okay. Now I'm not going. He's connected. Who? Simon Parks is an academic. He doesn't know how to run Twitter no more than he knows how to fly a jet plane. I've been listening to Simon Parks for years. But anyway, thank you. I appreciate it, White Lightning. Like it never even happened, buddy. Anyway, so we got people have been speculating. Yes, that is true. People have speculated about Donald Trump Jr. And I explained why he wouldn't do it. He would be in direct conflict with his own father. And it's all been things that I've seen in chats, not by anybody who's been creating content, just something that's going around as an undercurrent. Now, this is the first I've heard of Simon Parks, and I feel that he's never run a business, never been involved in the business, and doesn't know how. And I don't think he even wants to. But I'm sure if he, got on, let's see, he would be on Red Pill 78, somewhere like that. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. Isn't that a shame? But he would say something. But, we got to think beyond what we think would be neat or good and think of what the real situation is and who is a viable player. What if Elon Musk says, hey, here's proof. This old poll was garbage. I'm staying. I don't think he's going to do that because he never planned to be the CEO for a long time. So it's going to be somebody. And it's got to be somebody that makes the platform stronger. Got to be somebody that attracts people from both sides. So people aren't yelling in an echo chamber. And somebody that will be less likely to be attacked by the media. And to me, the strongest candidate is Jack Dorsey, especially after what I read. I could be wrong. Now, Flynn put out another statement. I mentioned before when he said that government just might as well shut it down, straighten things out. They've had the government shut down how long? 2 months? I think they even went 3 months. Okay, it'd be a slap in the face to them, yeah, but the shareholders of Truth Social wouldn't care for it, and it's not good business. It's not good business, and then you would actually have the SEC have a complaint, a valid complaint. Securities and Exchange Commission, the son of somebody of one company going to work for another. That doesn't help the shareholders, and I'm sure that Donald Trump Jr. has got some money in Truth Social too. You can't have conflicts like that and be approved by the SEC. And they're looking, hoping to find something to get Donald Trump on the SEC. I've been over that character. Oh, anyway, I want to say thanks to Robin, Aaron, Kristen, Wanda, Sandy, Norman, Killer Fuzz, somebody one, somebody two for helping out the channel. This is a viewer supported and creator supported channel only. I've got links for Buy Me a Coffee and for Zelle if anybody wants to help the program out. I usually forget to do that. And anyway, here's another banner I had. Peeling the Onion. I might as well put that up. So anyway, yeah, God wins. Freedom, hello. Did you see that clip, Nuremberg trials? With Alec Baldwin? That's right, Google account. Let's see if I ought to put that up on the screen. I don't know, but you're right. Why can they find your comment in a snap of a finger, but they can't catch these people who are blatantly doing things to young people? Okay, let me jump off topic real quick and talk about Brazil, because that is a pressure cooker right now. Yeah, the baby in New Zealand. I got that written down, talk about New Zealand too. People said New Zealand has got a problem. And I said to myself, New Zealand is a problem. Okay, that entire government needs to be looked at. But anyway, just going to talk real quick that the Brazilian Times put out a comment, and it's other than this, it's darkness. You don't hear anything. But the federal Supreme Court allied with the leader from the extreme left, Lula. You know that guy. And they take everything away from the powers of the Chamber of Deputies and Senate and grants $1.8 billion to Lula's supporters to spend as they wish. A similar thing took place in Venezuela in 2017. So the Supreme Court has taken it upon itself to not only jail anybody who is voicing support for Bolsonaro, but they're also taking it upon themselves to grant money to a particular political group because of this selection, which was done in one day, by the way. So, and the Army has already made a formal statement that they recognize Bolsonaro. So, I hear that train coming. There's a train wreck coming. And it's going to be between the military and it's going to be between that Brazilian Supreme Court. And I know who's going to come out on top. Like Andrew Jackson said about the Supreme Court. Where's their army? So anyway, that happened yesterday. So that could, the changeover power is supposed to be January 1st for Brazil. So what are we looking at? 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Now, let me get back to this subject. I just wanted to get back with Brazil because I mentioned in the past, but we haven't got any information on it. And I talked about General McInerney in the past and this business with Twitter and their ability to get through to these chats and discussions and threads and break them up. I wonder if that's got anything to do with what McInerney called, is two words. One of them is hammer, and the other word is scorecard. I can't say them together, right? Okay. In other words, it's a computer program that was the mother of all computer programs, and I don't know, scorecard. It's like keeping score, who's saying what. We all know what, get hit with a hammer, what a hammer can do. So anyway, and McInerney has been maligned in the press. If you pull his name up on Google, everything you see about him would be derogatory and desultory and calling him insane. So that tells you right there that he's probably right on the money. So let's see. A social credit system is what? No, Hammer scorecard is a. Gosh, I'm not supposed to say those two words together. That is something that has to do with information tracking. So, Tennessee, you run into people that are waking up. That sounds good, buddy. We got to wake them up easy. So anyway, I don't know what's going on with Rand Paul, but he endorses this Electoral Count Act reform. So that is, like DT said, if the VP did not have the power to analyze or do anything with the electoral votes put before him, why do they have to try to change the rules to where he can't? If what they're saying is true, then he can't anyway. So we'll see how that turns around. But that had me wondering about Rand Paul. But he's been delivering somewhat with this Dr. Ouchie. But like Mr. T said, I don't care whether they change the Electoral Count Act or not. Probably better to leave it the way it is, so it could be adjusted in cases of FR and then AUD. But what I don't like are the lies and the disinformation put out by the Democrats and the rhinos. They said that the vice president has absolutely no choice, that it was carved in steel. But if he has no choice, why are they changing the law saying he has no choice? Again, this simple logic, and he's using it pretty good. But anyway, back to this Twitter thing. Who put this tweet out? Chopped off a part of it, but top of it. But anyway, I think it was, it might have been Donald Jr., I'm not sure. Jim Jordan pretty much sums it up. The U.S. government has been running a massive psychological mis/disinformation operation against we, the people. All the big private companies we assumed were free from government influence were actually just arms of the government, brainwashing virtually the entire planet. And 100% of the brainwashing favored the left-wing narratives and the DNC agenda. For the lefties that don't know the definition, this is textbook fascism, but on a global scale. This is why you couldn't go to the grocery store with your red hat, well, okay, or have a Trump bumper sticker and not worry about coming out and having your car keyed, okay, which we've never done in elections before. But that's how you harm a population. That's how you harm a civilization, by causing this kind of strife through misinformation. Coordinated, knowingly. Always remember that word, knowingly. You're going to see that a lot. But you have Jim Jordan saying here, in response to the Twitter files revelation of high-level FBI agents working at Twitter, Jim Jordan said, I have concerns about whether the government was running a misinformation program on we the people. So That's going to be coming out more and more. And this person said, are you whatting me? SH, well, I won't say it, but anyway. They war gamed this out at the same Aspen Institute in 2020, where Adam Schiff was pictured meeting with Fusion GPS Glenn Simeon. In September of 2020, Game Theory, elite Russian hacking group, dumps fake Hunter Biden story in the press just before the next election. How does social media keep it from going viral? That is a BS propaganda point that was being driven to make the Hunter Biden laptop look like it was fake, when we all know that it was real. So Elon Musk challenges Adam Schiff, especially considering that he had that meeting we just discussed. Did you approve hidden state censorship in direct violation of the Constitution? The comment comes in the wake of the most recent round of Twitter files, which show that Twitter was used as a vassal of the FBI. So what must be shown before military intelligence can take over the civilian branches of intelligence, all three of them? Kash Patel put out, follow the money, like I did in Russiagate, like I called for Elon. And what do we learn? FBI paid Twitter, and still no one is releasing the contracts. Well, you see the next move. Kash Patel just exposed the next move. They're going to get those contracts. Somebody had to sign something. And this person, Jan Jikalik, I can't really pronounce the name, but he says, I want to know every contract the FBI has with Twitter. I believe they do have working level engagement with agreements with Twitter. Those need to be made public. Are tax dollars funding this censorship scheme? It has now been revealed that the FBI had regular meetings with Twitter in the lead up to 2020. Were these authorized by Bill Barr and Christopher Wray? That might be where we're going to see who is doing what, who's on whose side. So, and then you have Donald Trump talking about that special prosecutor, along with who is a disciple of Obama, Biden. He mentions Eric Holder, Lisa Monaco, and Andrew Weissman, and all the other Trump haters. I talked about Weissman. We're going to see him in a situation much like what we saw during that film clip, okay, that I discussed earlier. Andrew Weissman, you mark my words, he's going to have an experience, okay? They're looking to prosecute the fraudulent but highly successful effort made by the FBI in illegally changing the results. Okay, I got to be careful what I say there. I'll let that go. You guys can look what Mr. T's got to say. Carrie Lake her lawsuit is going to be heard tomorrow. That's the thing. I got to get to ground zero. Carrie Lake, on Friday, the baddies came out and said, just dismiss this, Your Honor. It's no good. Blah, blah, blah. And don't you know, Sonny Burrell, his got thrown out today because he didn't meet the filing deadline. I'll let you guys look that up, but I don't know what to make of that. The judge is a conservative judge, and apparently the Burrell camp, Sonny Burrell's camp, got that ball rolling way later than Carrie Lake, and I don't know why that is, but there's no way, according to this judge, that the complaint can be gone through. But that'll get looked at. But I'm just wondering what in the world they were up to, what dance they thought they were going to. But anyway, so their request to have the thing dismissed got thrown out. It was scheduled for Monday, and Monday they gave such compelling statements of fact with evidence that the judge said it to be heard tomorrow and the next day, a 2-day hearing. So that's what everybody is on pins and needles about right now. So it is a hearing scheduled for 2 days, tomorrow and the next day, and we will see what comes out of that. And I was watching one creator, and it's I put him up here before. His name is Bernie. That he said it wouldn't surprise him if the first arrest was Katie Hobbs, because we've been told. It is not what everybody says. Everybody says the first arrests will shock the world. That's a good example of a counter psyop. That was never said. You can't find it in any of the posts. What the posts say, and nobody needs to put a whole post in my chat. Please don't do that. But what the post does say, the first arrests will awaken people and show the direction that this thing is going. So I think the arrest of Katie Hobbs will waken people up, and also I think that's the direction this whole thing is going. Rather than having people come in and arrest the whole Congress and do this and that. Now we got the Brunson case coming up January 6th, but we've got a lot of stuff happening before then. So, see how everybody's doing in the chats. Because you had that attorney general that had the nunchucks. What's his name? Oh gosh, I just said it. Anyway. He's the one that said, I'm just witnessing this, and those who seek power, ride the tiger, often ends up inside. And that was a quote from JFK, which I found to be very telling and very fitting, because JFK is trending in the news now concerning some of the things I discussed yesterday. So we'll see. So is Elon Musk going to sue Twitter? They told him it was one thing. Is he going to sue the former board? Some of the former owners? Well, maybe not, Jack, if you get back here and straighten this stuff out. Because somebody sold him a wasp's nest of garbage, a crime scene, ongoing crimes. I buy something in good faith and find out the whole thing is running on criminal activity. I think I could sue somebody, couldn't I? I could sue several people, couldn't I? If the SEC knew about it, I think I could sue them. So he starts making enough noise, and you've got international backers like the Saudis that are. Elon Musk is not the richest man in the world. They keep saying he's the richest man in the world to make the lefties hate him more. Well, let me tell you, those Saudis can buy him 2-3 times over. They're worth trillions, and more than one. So wouldn't that be interesting? If I'm sure that is being hung over people's heads right now. Not only that, but all the P3DO stuff we're finding out about. But anyway, folks, I'm going to get to General Flynn and what he called for. I can't talk about it too much. I'll have to say that in coded words, but he's talking for about similar to that movie clip that Donald Trump put out that keeps getting taken down, folks, if you know what I mean. Yeah, don't drop links because, yeah. Yeah, you can sit there and watch Johnny Depp's trial all day long, shoved up in your face, but all this other stuff you can't find a daggone thing about. Oh, it's manipulated. Oh, Patriot Starfire, what? Yeah, if you drop links outside of YT, they don't let the video go around because they don't want anybody to leave their site. And I mean that's a common business practice. I mean, if you could drop YouTube links all day long, but in the comments you can't drop links unless you got a wrench, and if you got a wrench, it's best not to drop links outside of the platform you're using because they'll just say, well, don't show that video around. We don't want to advertise for other sites. But anyway, folks, we'll get together maybe tomorrow. I don't know how many of y'all dealing with a real bad cold and ice and stuff like that, but it ain't pretty. Be careful out there, and I hope everybody's getting ready. Hi, Karen. How you doing, honey? Sorry again for what? Nothing to be sorry about, sweetheart. Ain't nothing shaking but leaves on the trees. Oh, dropping links. I didn't know it was you, Karen. I'm looking through the chats. Oh, okay, yeah. Be careful with that. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Anyway, so now every day we learn a little bit more. And so anyway, I appreciate y'all joining me. And I hope y'all have a great night. And I will see you before Christmas. I don't know how things go when we get hard weather coming through. So sometimes messes up the stream. So we'll see how things go. And y'all have a great night. I'll play my little rock and roll music on the way out. Y'all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I will see you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.